And first of all, thank you for joining. It's an absolute delight to have you all here. And in this webinar, so we'll be seeing something that's very important for all of us, which is about the pre-existing illnesses, which is about the exclusions, that is temporary exclusion or even permanent exclusion, and then also slightly touching upon the claim process as well. So uh, Archana will be, starting off with that with the with the webinar, and then from there, once it is done, you can all probably have questions, and you can start asking one by one, and we'll try to answer all of that. And I hope this webinar will be useful to you, will be fruitful to you, and so I think we can get it started. And please, whatever questions you have, you can put it in the chat. And once this presentation is done, we'll start answering one by one. Yeah. So I hope the screen is clear to you. Over to Archana.
Good afternoon, everyone. Uh, Thank you so much for coming in for this webinar. And today we'll be, before moving on to questions and answer session, so we'll be first looking into a very important topic in both health and life insurance, that is PED in what are the common exclusions that are there, and what are the possible reasons a claim could get rejected, and what can we do about it, and how to go for a claim and all that. So first, let us start with life insurance. So you can see that 8% of insurance claims are rejected due to incorrect information. So this is very important to give accurate information. Let us start with life insurance first. So it is very important to give the right kind of information. It is very important to put a nominee in your policy, right? So what should be, what can be done as a homework just to make sure that your claims are not getting rejected in life insurance. So first, we should understand that insurance is basically we get insurance to get claims, right? So if you are not able to get claim, then there is a no point investing into insurance. So the homework is basically it's very important to give right information while you are taking a policy. So when the proposal is given to you based on the information you based on that only the policy will be issued. So we need to ensure that we are taking care of filling forms. Either you are filling it out or you need to be present when the advisor is filling out. It works either way, but we need to give every information accurate and careful. So what will happen is that basically when we not give the right information, there is a possibility of the claim getting rejected. And there are three most important aspects related to that. When it comes to financial details and your health details. So these two need to be accurate whenever you are for a policy. So, so that it is one of the most important things. So, what happened? One of my mutual friend, John. So he applied for a life insurance 5 years back. So while going for during the application process, he didn't mention about his smoking habits, and he had a family history of heart attack also. So he didn't while going for the application, he didn't give this information, given that he can go for a lower premium. So then he got the policy also. So now he didn't give two important risk factors regarding his life. So what happened during the COVID time? He passed away due to heart ailment. So, and being a sole earning member of his family, his wife and two children were dependent on his income. So the family was now in the verge of, financial problem, financial crisis. And then they get to know that he already applied for insurance and they had some kind of relief that they'll get some corpus out of it. And then they went for a claim. But what happened is that after carefully investigating the policy, the person's death, so the insurance company rejected the claim because he didn't mention both the history. So, because of which, just to go for a lower premium, he misinterpreted the information and the claim got rejected. So when this happens, there are three possibilities when you give inaccurate information. The first one is the claim definitely can get rejected. The second possibility is that you can the insurer can void the policy, which means they can stop the policy. In in some cases, in some extreme cases, what can happen is that the insurer may also face a legal consequence because maybe the company can get it take it as an fraud, insurance fraud. So there is a possibility of legal consequences also. So information is very much necessary. That is the first step while you are going for a policy and to make sure your claim is not getting rejected, right? Okay. Then we go on to the second slide. So the second one is educating the nominee. So you can see that according to Indian claim rejection statistics, over 60% of a percentage of insurance claim rejections occur due to nominee related issues, which means that uh, is my voice audible now? Yeah, okay. Thank you, sir. Yeah. So the second is educating the nominee and making the nominee understand that these are the policies, these are the kind of covers, and these are the records, and this is where I kept all these records. This is very much necessary to ensure your claim is not getting rejected. So as we can see, most of the policy holders didn't inform the nominee about the policy itself. So what will happen because of this is basically even what we suggest is if there is an agent or advisor you have, please give that contact number to your nominee so that when something happens, unfortunate happens, the nominee can know that that they'll get a there is this kind of policy that they can get a corpus or a financial security from. So educating a nominee is very, very important and very crucial. And the third slide, can you go to third slide? Yeah. So third one is record management. So as I said, first one is accurate information. Second is educating the nominee. And third comes the record management. So you can see the average time taken to settle an insurance claim in India is 30 to 45 days, right? So what we need to ensure here is we need to write declarations. We need to, manage the records, basically to manage the records. So what happened recently, one of our claim got rejected because of an issue over a bill, basically an ineffective record management. So when we try to connect with the hospital to get a copy of the bill, because since the client had lost the original bill, we tried connecting with the hospital to get it another copy of the bill. So what will happen in this case is that you will get a copy, but there will be a word duplicate on it. So it will be considered as a duplicate copy only. So when even when the client doesn't have any other insurance, this is the sole policy they have for their health, but the claim got rejected because it was considered as a duplicate copy, not a original bill. So record management is very, very important when we to make sure that our claims are not getting rejected. So rejected partial approval. So what happened is that properly, we need to store policy document, medical records, and other relevant information. And in this case, your claim can get partially approved or get fully rejected. This can both be the case based on the details that we are going to provide. So the fourth important one is the myth of a claim settlement ratio. So when it comes to taking a policy, one of the important question that everyone asks is the claim settlement ratio. So if the company has a higher claim settlement ratio, why can't I go for it, right? But some companies with lower claim settlement ratios may be more efficient in valid rejections. So we should now understand that claim settlement ratio is a very broad metric. It's not just stick to that how many claims are getting approved, right? So it is a very broad metric. So when also we need to it is very important that we need to understand it will not give you any information about an insurance company's claim experience or the speed at which it will be you can basically get the claim. So so how do you judge a company on something when where an insurance company is doing its job by rejecting the wrong claims, invalid claims? So it's doing its job, right? So when they avoid or when they reject false claims, there is a possibility of you getting the right claim. So we need to understand, even if you ask me personally, so I'll definitely not go for a policy just because it has a higher claim settlement ratio. There is a many more thing attached to that. So that is also very important. So as per the so we need to look into the claim settlement ratio also. So high claim settlement ratio are often considered when buying insurance, but claim settlement ratios are not indicative of claim payment speed or experience. So that needs to be understood carefully. So next one. So now we saw what are all the reasons or what could go wrong when when you not give relevant information or when you're not educating the nominee about the policy and all that. So let's assume that this kind of some unfortunate event happened and the nominee has to go for a claim. What are the formalities? So 90% of insurance claim in India are related to health or natural death, according to Indian insurance claim statistics. So as per the policy wordings, there is typically a 30-day window in which you are supposed to notify a policyholder's death. So, but IRDA has made it very clear that if there is any circumstances by which the insurer or the in which a customer is not able to do that, insurance company cannot reject claims. So you can understand that even after 30 days, there is a possibility, there is a situation, people can make claims. What is the first step? First step is intimation. Intimation of this particular death or this particular incident happened to the company is the first step. So this can happen, within 30 days, the family member can even make a toll-free call. There are options for toll-free call. And now the private insurers or the providers, insurance providers have come up with their own apps. So you can go there to their apps or websites and you can intimate that this happened, this death happened, or this event, unfortunate event happened. So that is the first step. The second step is that all the paperwork. So wherein comes, the second step. So there are three aspects in the second step. The first one is the reason for the death, that is proof of death. So in this case, we have a death certificate. So in case if definitely there will be a death certificate, right? So we can get that. And the second one is cause of death. Because of what reason the death happened? Either it can be medical, or in case of accident, we definitely need FIR from the police. Or so these two are very important. And the third one is the nominee proof. So whenever we are taking the policy, we'll give a nominee details. So we need their proof, either Aadhaar, PAN, which says that this person is the
correct nominee. So his photo ID proof, address proof, that all can be given. So these are all the things that are largely supposed to be provided. And sometimes they can also ask for cancelled checks or your bank passbook proof to to give the claim, to be basically to ensure that the claim is getting paid. So if we are able to provide these reports, the insurance company will definitely like cannot your policy cannot get rejected, your claim cannot get rejected. So we need to ensure all these three things, basically the death certificate and the cause of death, and then your nominee proof. These three need to be ensured, provided to make a claim. So then comes now, so far we have seen about life insurance. Now we are moving into health insurance, claim rejection. So what are all the possibilities because of which your health insurance claims can get rejected? So first one is waiting periods and exclusions. So this is very important. We need to understand why the policy claims can get rejected. Let us consider a scenario. You have a cashless health insurance policy, and at the same time, if you're going for a reimbursement, process of reimbursement, you need a lot of documents and the right kind of hospitalization information need to be given. So there are four important large criteria based on which your claims can get rejected, your health insurance claims basically. So the first one is waiting period and exclusions. So when it comes to waiting period, if you are making a claim or for a disease or a treatment which is in the waiting period when you bought the policy, then obviously that would not be paid. So that is one of the reason your claim can get rejected. And the second one will be permanent exclusions. Permanent exclusions are certain diseases or treatments that may not be covered in the policy itself by the insurance company. So we need to understand. For example, you can take cosmetic surgeries are not covered by most of the policies, and even this HIV, and then you can see a lot of insurance company do not cover maternity. So these need to be analyzed while before you take the policy. So permanent exclusions are not covered at the policy at all. So if you are going for a claim for a permanent, for a disease which is considered, coming under permanent exclusion, your policy will get rejected. Your claim gets rejected. So the third one could be misinterpretations. So like in life insurance, in health insurance also, there is a possibility of you giving, of the policy holder missed giving some information or giving false information, because of which the claim can get rejected. So maybe this can be some specific health related thing, or it can also be lifestyle declaration to the insurance company, and they later come to know this through the paperwork or what happened in the hospital, and then only they came to know that this kind of issue is already going on. In this kind of misinterpretation, there is a possibility of your health insurance claim getting rejected. And the fourth and final one is that procedural rejections. So here comes the paperwork problem. So when you are not able to submit the paperwork that the health insurance company is asking for when you're going for a reimbursement, for example, they need a report and to understand that this particular disease got diagnosed at this date, or any prescriptions or consultations from the doctor for which they need a report for, but you may miss the report, or the report itself is not provided by the hospital. So these kind of things come under procedural rejection. So because of the paperwork, this could also be one of the reason your claim can get rejected. So we saw the four major reasons because of which a health insurance claim can get rejected. But how can we handle claim rejections? And if the issue is with the policy holder side or from our side, then only 10 to 15% of rejected health insurance claims are appealed, according to health insurance claim statistics. So you can see that if your claim is rejected due to misrepresentation, the insurer may cancel the policy. Either they can cancel the policy or they can charge an additional premium to continue coverage. This can happen when the fault is from the policyholder side. But what happens when the issue is from the in the insurance provider side. So what if an insurer or policyholder feels the rejection is wrong? What can we do about it? So IRDA receives around 7,000 insurance related complaints annually based on the statistics. So every insurance company is mandatorily required to have a grievance officer where you can go and write a claim about, that you are not feeling, you feel wrong about the claim got rejected, and you can get an expert to determine the validity of the rejection. So you can lodge a complaint in with the insurance grievance officer. This is the first case. And if at all you are unsatisfied again, so what you can do? You can escalate the complaint to IRDA's grievance portal, and they have to get you within 15 days. So what can happen is that IRDA has a portal for grievance where you can go and apply when there is an unsatisfactory response from the insurance provider side. The third point is you can go to an insurance ombudsman. If IRDA portal has also not given you any satisfactory response, you can escalate the issue further to the insurance ombudsman. So, which is basically a locale for insurance, where you can go and apply online and file a grievance with a locale who will turn, or they make a judgment based on all the information it gets from you and from the insurance company. So the last point is the legal route. So when all goes wrong and you still think there is, it is wrong for this particular claim to get rejected, you still have one other route. So that is the legal route. So around 15 to 20% of disputed insurance claim result in court proceedings. So you should understand, if all else fails, we still have one more hope, that is you can pursue legal action. So we should understand that end of the day, it is an agreement between you and the company, right? So consumer court and regular courts are available options for dispute resolution. So you have a 4-step guide procedure to go for a claim. When your claim is getting rejected, you can still try to get the claim. So these are all the things that we need to ensure before buying a policy. It is our, it is very important. It is our duty to give rightful information, accurate information, and we need to educate the nominee about the policy. And the third is no misinterpretations about your health, or your finance, or anything needs to be done while taking the policy. And above all, even if everything goes wrong, we still have legal route with us. So with this, I'll just conclude my presentation, and now over to Swagat for Q&A. And we have Q&A here. You can raise your questions there, and or else you can put it in the chat box, and Swagat will continue from here. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Archana, for the presentation. And I think, yeah, you can ask your questions. I think most of you will have questions to ask. So you can ask, and, I'll try my best to answer all of that. Uh, Thank you, Jagan, for the question. So the question is, I have a corporate insurance. My age is 27. Is it better to have additional insurance outside now? Yes, it is definitely better to have one outside, which is your personal insurance. And I'll tell you why it matters most. First is the corporate insurance is something that is a formality given by the, it's a formality to have a health insurance, which is provided by the employer. So that is, which is confined, or which is basically have a limit of budget. Okay, so basically the company decides to provide health insurance. It is not out of the concern they have for the employee most of the times. It's basically that it's in the bucket list to tick that off. and mostly it is within the budget that they wanted to get the insurance. So why would we want the health insurance, or the most important thing where most of our savings go? Why would we want that financial aspect to be controlled by someone else when we already can have one? Secondly, when you move out of your company to some other company, or even start your own business, or when you're at the age of retirement, right? You will not have a personal health insurance to carry forward to. So your health insurance stops there when your corporate provider stop. When you come out of the corporate, and taking the health insurance after that will be a challenge, because by the time you will be close to 50, 55, probably 60, and because of age, hypothetically, you might have develop some illnesses, right? So, or we might not be aware also. And if those illnesses are considered before taking the health insurance, then that can come under permanent exclusion also, or even the health insurance company do not give policy also. So it's better to have one at least. And before all of that, when you feel you're healthy and fit, when you don't have any illness, right? It's better to take then that time itself, because once there are like any illness that pops out, right, then the health insurance will cover that. So these three are the important points to have health insurance. If you ask me for the value, that's up to you, since you're young, and if you're just an individual person without who's not married, then I would say consider something between 7.5 lakh to 10 lakh. But if you're married, then go for at least 15 or 20 lakh, depending on the family size. And if you have children also, because once we have any health insurance, I'm sorry, any health problem, then getting a health insurance policy, or even get enhancing the existing health value also becomes a big challenge. I hope I answered your question. Which is best company to take term insurance? So as Archana told, term insurance, most of us choose to take the policy with the claim settlement ratio, but that's not the right factor, because that claim settlement ratio is not just for the term insurance. It's it's combination of term, endowment, ULIP, and all of that, right? And we might not know what is the ratio of term insurance from that ratio. So instead of checking through the claim settlement ratio, what you can do is you can probably say go. So let's say you're someone who's driven by brand. For example, let's say you have ICICI. This is not something we recommend out of interest, but then this is something for discussion purpose, where let's say you have ICICI banking, and you're very comfortable with that. Probably, yeah. And if you're someone who's driven by brand, then yeah, taking ICICI policy can give you peace of mind. And then if you're somebody who follows HDFC, who has a salary account there, and then you're comfortable with employees of say some employee there, and you've been friends, and if you feel the policy is also right, then you can take. But end of the day, when it comes to term insurance, there is not there are no fancy features which you can think that this policy has this feature and that policy does not do not have that feature. It's not like that. Term insurance is very simple. I'm earning, and I'm taking the policy for the purpose of covering my family. In case if something happens to me, my family should get the claim. That should be the end of the day, that should be the thought process. And whatever declaration that you are aware of, and you think you can provide, so that you can be free, and have peace of mind, then give all the declarations. Ensure you take the right medical test, like whatever is given. Ensure you go through the proper fasting as advised by the medical center and all that. And once you feel that you've given whatever is known to you, once you feel you've given that, then I think that should be enough to and take a term insurance, because end of the day, everybody comes under IRDA, everybody is under that regulation. And if we are, honest and clean, then nobody can reject our claim. That's my opinion. One of the most useful awareness video about common questions and about insurance. Thank you so much. That means a lot. We'll try to come up with more such, informative webinars. I don't have any medical history issues while taking policy. Later, if I have any medical issues recovered, how will this be addressed to the insurance company? Okay, so after taking the policy, say if we have any medical issues, or and then the insurance company have to approve the claim only. But the problem is that I would suggest, okay, the problem is later you can't enhance the policy for a better value. Say for example, let's say I have 10 lakh policy and I've been because of some illness or something, my claim is also getting approved and I've also claimed. Now the problem is later if I feel that my I'm also growing old, my family size is also getting bigger. For example, when I got diagnosed, I was not married, but later I got married and I have kids. Then the problem is, I'll not be able to enhance it. So what I would say is gradually you can keep increasing the cover, and you don't have to be worried about, getting a history later after taking the policy, because the health insurance company will cover that. But as I told, the enhancement or getting the higher value might be a challenge. So, as soon as there's a requirement to enhance the policy, gradually you can keep doing that. But you don't have to be worried about the history. So if you have a medical history already before taking the policy, then the insurance company might treat it as a temporary exclusion or permanent exclusion as per the policy standards. But then after that, once we get it, then the insurance company will cover it. Okay. Next is from Mr. Shiva. How do we arrive term insurance amount which include my lifestyle inflation? Any best term insurance you suggest? Okay, so there is something called human life value, HLV we call, which includes basically your income, your age of retirement, your current age, and inflation. This is one way of doing. Say, for example, my annual income is 20 lakhs and my current age is 35 something. Then, I can take up to 20 times of my 20 to 25 times of my annual income. That is one way of calculating. So, which will pretty much come to 4 to 5 crores. That's one way of looking at it. Second is expense method, where considering my expense. Say, for example, today since my annual income is 20 lakhs, for example, my income for the family per month can be close to 60 to 70,000, which pretty much comes to 9 lakhs per year. So, again, this 9 lakhs will be, with inflation, this 9 lakhs, might gradually increase, and that will be required for my family for another 30 or 40 years. So, considering both income and expense method, that is, you will arrive at an average value called cumulative value. You will also consider your assets that you existing have. You will also consider your loans that you existing, at the moment you have. Considering all of that, you will arrive at a value around 3 or 4 crores. For example, that is the value you have to take life insurance for, term insurance specifically, because uh, in case of the absence or in case of the unfortunate event, that is the exact value or that is pretty much closer to the exact value that your family will require, as a substitute or to at least run the family. So there shouldn't be any compromise while taking a term insurance, especially because even health insurance, yeah, of course there shouldn't be any compromise in both, but then in term insurance specifically, because that is the value your family will be requiring in case of your absence, and there can't be any compromises. And coming to the best term insurance, I would say again, it's there is no best term insurance as such, as far as I know. Every company, because the features are simple, right? So, what we can understand is whatever is in our control, we can have the control of that. For example, let's say I can give the right declaration, I can provide the right details to them, I can have the proper details managed under me, I can provide the details to nominee and all of that. And whatever is not in our control, it's definitely not in our control. So, whatever that you are able to do, you can do it. And as far as term insurance is concerned, give all the declarations and understand the policy details and everything. And if everything is right, the company will definitely approve the claim, right? So especially educate your nominee, tell the nominee that you have taken such policy, tell the nominee or reach out to your advisor how to educate your nominee about the policy details, educate your nominee about, or at least put your nominee to that advisor, and ask for details like what are the records to be maintained, what are the details to provide while applying for the claim. So all of this should work. Many policies are available in health insurance. How to select the very efficient one and which health insurance are the best in the market now? Okay, coming to health insurance, yes, there are certain policies which are really good. I really understand that. So what you can do is you can understand what type of policy you want. Say, for example, you already have an office coverage. Then what you can do is see what is not covered in your office policy. Say, for example, in your office policy, there might be something called room rent capping. Let's say your coverage is 3 lakh, which is provided by your hospital, I'm sorry, your office, and generally in the policies, it says that 1% of the some coverage is the room rent, which is 3,000. So say on an average, if I go to some hospital that is at least in the city, Chennai or Bangalore or something, I don't find any hospital which has 3,000 room rent. It has at least 5,000, 6,000, 10,000, or even more, right? And obviously, I don't want to compromise on my room. I would definitely want to go for a single standard AC room. I wouldn't prefer going sharing with somebody else. So in that case, you can understand that, okay, say for example, my room rent covers only for 3,000. Then I should go for a policy that gives me a full room rent limit. That's one thing. Second is see if there are any disease-wise sublimit. Say for cataract, they have only covered 20,000 per eye. Say for some kidney stone, they cover only 10,000 per surgery or 15,000 per surgery, or even ambulance benefit, they only cover 2,000 per hospitalization. Understand all of that, see where are the limits, and then try to apply that or implement that in your personal health insurance. See which policy gives all of these benefits, to the fuller extent. Go for those policies. And then understand if you want to have OPD in your benefit. OPD is basically outpatient benefit, right? Understand if you want to have it. Understand if you want to, opt for maternity benefit. Understand you want to have global coverage. You want to have air ambulance benefit. You want to cover organ donor benefit and all of that. See, try to have these preferences, and whatever policies covers these things, then I think you can go for those policies. And coming to best health insurance in the market, there are like quite a few policies that have got good which are currently best at the moment, but I wouldn't want to name them because they keep changing every 2 months or 3 months, because they are from the private players, and in order to capture the market, all these private players keep adding new benefits to the new benefits to the policy, and it keeps growing only, or it keeps adding only. So and I think these are my answers for this point. But then I would ask you to understand, your office coverage versus your personal insurance health insurance coverage, and see, what is missing in your office coverage and take that. What type of health insurance in India will be suitable for NRI? Okay, for NRI, what you can do is anyway, health insurance will be covered mostly, okay, pretty much in India only. So what you can do is you can just take a decent policy which doesn't include OPD and all, which is a straight policy which covers for basic hospitalization. That should do enough. And what you can do is you can take for a minimal of 5 lakhs or 10 lakhs depending on the family size, and understand how often you will visit India. Okay, say for example, you're someone who keeps visiting India every 6 months, right? Then you should go for a better value, say close to 10 lakhs or something like that. But if you're someone who visits India only once in a year or 2 years once, then you can go for a basic value and keep increasing it. But what you have to do is you should declare whatever health you have, your problems you are having, and when you're closer to coming to India, settling down in India, then what you should do is you should increase it. Say for example, you're 57 now, and at 60 you want to take retirement and come settle down in India. Then what you can do is at the age of 57, you can go for a better value. Say from 10 lakhs, you can increase it to 20 or 25 lakhs. Okay, because whatever additional value you're going to take, right, that will have waiting period of 2 years or 3 years, depending on the company. So at 57, what you can do is you can increase the value to a better value, and then keep paying the premium. And once you're coming and settling down in India, that policy only will work for you till you're 99 or 100, or till your life. So there is no better, you can go for a basic decent health insurance policy, which will cover basic hospitalization, and which does not have okay, the answer is basically which do not have any cap-ins or any limits for any features. Go for those policies, and then keep investing in those policies. Do not look it as a premium burden. Instead, look it as an investment where after 60 it's going to help you. Look at it that way. And once you've increased it, and once you come down to India, that policy will work for you. That's how you can plan it. Can we change the medical insurance company after continuing for 3 to 5 years? If we change the insurance company, can the benefit continues or it is considered as a fresh insurance? Okay, you can change, but not very often, not every 3 to 5 years. You can change probably say you are in 20s or 30s now, and you're going to definitely, live till 80, for example, or an average, like an average person. And uh, in the 50 years journey of health insurance, you can probably change it once or twice, not more than that. Because, again, it's kind of an investment only. Although it comes under risk management part, it is an investment that, and that's the mindset we should carry. Because I'm investing in a policy that's going to cover me for everything, or pretty much 95% of my illness will be covered. That's the attitude you can have. Because every health insurance policy will have some conditions. So there is no best policy, or you can't keep changing, or you can't keep shifting, right? Because that can go against you also. Because sometimes the health insurance company in that specific policy might not cover something which your previous policy would have covered. So instead of jumping very frequently, jump only when there is a requirement, shift only when there is a requirement, and not more than 2-3 times, because that can, as I told you, that can go against you. So as and when there is a real necessity for you to jump, or really you're facing some service problem with the existing insurance company, then you can shift it. But then any health insurance company for that matter, or any health insurance policy, will definitely cover you 90 to 95% once you allow it to grow. So it will not be treated as fresh. Your details will definitely be continued. Your benefits will be definitely continued. But why risk it? Just if you're comfortable with some companies, then do not look outside. Just travel with that policy is not my opinion. Next is it better to approach health insurance company directly, or better to be part of any association gets insurance through them? I would say go with an association. The reason is that you're not going to pay something extra, because the premiums are similar. You're not going to pay something extra, and in fact, the details that you get through an association would be more. And at least you can ask more questions, you can ask for more details, and you will be given clarification about that. And the reason you don't have to go directly is because end of the day, all that you do, right, everything, so it'll all fall on you. So in spite of managing your profession, your family, you'll have the burden of managing this as well on your own. And what if it doesn't work for you right in the right sense? So it's better to go for through an association, and allow them to work for you. And whenever you have a question or something, or whenever there's a claim, you can expect the service from them as well. If not, at least you can get the clarification, or get the help of seeing what the process can be. Or when there's some tough situation, you'll have at least some contact to go through, right? Instead of going directly. So that's my opinion. Do we have any medical insurance for cancer treatment? Uh, Unfortunately, the answer is no only, or we will have to check. Because for cancer treatment, since it comes under critical illness, right? No insurance company, is ready to give any insurance policy. So it's unfortunately the answer is no only, but I can also check once if any other company, because I know Care Insurance provides coverage for heart problems, which no other insurance company is ready to do. But there are like many limits, co-payments and everything. But for cancer, I have not seen any policy, but I can check and probably confirm you. If I would prefer taking your number. So what I can do is we'll put our number in the chat. Probably you can reach out to us, and we can have a contact further. We can have the conversation further. We'll try to check and tell you if there are any policy that can have cancer treatment as well. So just to clarify one more thing, if a person has already been diagnosed with cancer, then there is the options are very, very limited. It's close to impossible. But then a person after taking the policy faces with cancer, then yes, with the existing insurance he can get it covered. In my case, I am part of an association. They offer a insurance through group policy. Okay, so group policy here, I understand that either it can be okay. So I think this association, if I'm not wrong, is it like through your residential society or association? Is that what you're meaning, or is it your employer providing, or is it through the bank that you're taking? Because I just need some clarification in that. If it is through your employer, then definitely you can take it. If it is through your bank, which offers the group health insurance policy, then there are certain challenges in that, which I don't prefer taking or advising my clients to do. But if it is through your association where you're part of that, residence, then go through the details once and make sure or understand how long you'll be there as a part of that association, and then take an informed decision. If you have an advisor, share those details with the advisor, take his opinion, and then probably if the details are good, if everything poses to be good in your sense, then you can go for it. From Mr. Damodaran. I have taken Aditya Birla health insurance policy of 5 lakhs for me and my wife for the last 3 years. Do you need to top up to increase the amount or okay, or change it to 10 lakhs next year? So what you can do is, yes, you can change it to 10 lakhs, or probably, depending on your situation and affordability, you can increase the coverage. That's very important. But you don't have to go for a top-up option now. So before going for a top-up option, have a base policy for at least 10 to 15 lakhs. Make sure you put a strong foundation, where you will be covered for like 90 to 95%. And then probably, if required, go for a top-up. So top-up is something that you can take additionally, not in the initial stage itself. Take it after taking a policy for 2, 3 years. So after having like 10 to 15 lakhs of coverage, you can take this top-up if required, or you can see if you need to enhance in the base policy itself. But yeah, go for 10 lakhs or 15 lakhs in the next year, depending on your situation. When will be tier 2, 3 cities cash health insurance access available? So there are certain insurance companies that cover tier 2 and tier 3. What you can do is, like, I can provide some company names. Again, probably you can also check in their website or something. Go for hospitalizations which are covered more than 10,000 plus. For example, Star, I think, covers more than 20,000 plus hospitals across the country. HDFC covers more than 12,000, 30,000 across the country. And I think even Care Health Insurance also covers more than 10,000. So go for some. So these are something that came to my mind right now. But then there might be some other companies also which can cover more than what I have told now. So just go through the details, go through the list where you are. Say, for example, you are from Tirunelveli or Tiruvannamalai, which is down south. I mean, which is a town in Tamil Nadu. Just check for these companies, check for the hospital list if they are covering here, or probably, yeah. So the hospital list will be available in the company's website itself. You can go through it. So it is not that no company is providing; they are providing, but just that we have to do little bit of a homework and then understand. But they provide, yeah. Can it take top up from one company and main policy from different company? Yeah, you can do. So because top up and base policy are two different policies, two individual policies. So you can do. So it's your preference only. Again, see the top up policies features, and say your base policy, you're convenient, basically you have base policy from a company, and you're already happy with the service, happy with the features, happy with the claim settlement and all that. And if the company offers top up, go for that itself. If not, you can also go for other company. So there is no restriction as such, or there is no challenge as such. So you can explore. But then if the same company provides top up also, you can probably take that. So it's, it doesn't really matter that much. Just look into the features, look for the hospitals which the company, goes with, and understand if because the base policy will cover hospital A, which is in your locality, which you are very comfortable with. But policy B, which is from a different company, might not cover that hospital. Then you will have to go through a route of getting reimbursement, or that challenges will also come. So go for the list of hospitals, understand if they both cover that hospital, understand if the top up policy is also equally as good as the base policy. Then yes, you can go. Yeah. From Mr. Prakash, is it advisable to take a new health insurance for the senior citizens aged 68 since premium is too high? Also, first few years not covered. So yeah, it is advisable for senior citizens. So there are certain policies which cover senior citizens also. You can look into that option because again, senior citizens are someone uh, who will be more you know who will have to go through the claim process very often than a normal person. So yes, if a company offers for the senior citizens, then without a co-payment, without any sublimit, then please go for it. I would suggest yes. The premiums are too high, but then when there's a claim that will really help. And I also understand the first few years are not covered, but that's for everybody, right? Even if I take a new health insurance policy, I will not be covered for certain illnesses. So what you can do is, if your office policy already covers your parents, use that for the first few years while taking the senior citizen policy also. If not, then you will have to bear the pain of not covering that certain illness for first few years. I understand that will be pain, but you will have to go through that. And later after 2 3 years, that policy will definitely cover. So if that facilitates, then go for the senior citizen policy, and that will be really helpful. I understand the premiums are too high. At least try to make some adjustments coverage wise, and try to also save adequately as an emergency reserve in the first few years where the this policy will not be covered. Cancer booster is there. Sir, I'll have to check this policy. This is from Mr. Damaran, who has suggested us that cancer booster is there for cancer treatment. I will have to check this policy. So I'll check and I'll probably update you. Yeah, I can do that. Thanks for the suggestion, by the way. Is it good idea to take health insurance from two different companies like diversification? Yeah, you can do. You can take two different companies, I mean, two different policies from two different companies. You can do it, but please have the clarity of why you're doing it when you can already, enhance the base policy to a better value. So, but anyway, the idea is that if you say, let's say you have a 5 lakh cover from the A company and 5 lakh from B company, the idea is that only after exhausting that first 5 lakh from A company, you will be able to use the second 5 lakh. And the difference, right, from 5 lakh when you go to the 6 lakh from B company, the problem is that from 6 lakhs to 10 lakhs, if you're using it within that hospitalization itself, say I'm getting admitted for accident, and from policy A, and I've taken the full coverage, full claim for the first 5 lakh. And when I use the sixth lakh, right, for the same hospitalization, I will have to pay the bill and only can take the reimbursement later. So instead of doing that, why would you have to do that? Instead, go for the same policy itself, where instead of taking two policies, just enhance that policy to that value. So that will be better option, because at least you have continuous hospitalization, continuous claims and all that. So that will facilitate you better way. And if you're talking about two different policies like basic policy and the top up policy, that you can do. But again, I would prefer going with the same company if the service is better. Uh, Thank you, Jayaprakash, for the number. We shall check and reach out to you regarding that. Is it from Mr. Murali? Is it possible to add parents after health insurance policy has been taken? So I wouldn't suggest you adding your parents in the same policy, because the premium will be extremely high. And since it's from that it is it will be added, the premium will be based, basically calculated on your parents' age. It will be very high. The premium will be, over the roof. So what you can do is, and most companies, some companies don't allow that also, where you can include your parents. So instead, what I would suggest is have a policy for you and your family. Your family as in like you, your wife, and then the kids, and then have a separate policy for family, because I'm sorry, for parents, because parents, as they are aged people, they, especially senior citizens, they tend to go for claims very often, like hospitalization, some very often. So that would affect your policy as well if you have the parents in your policy. Instead, take two separate policies, have something separately for them. That's very much advisable, and you can use it for them only. So that that will be a cost-effective option for you as well as parents. And when there is a claim, at least their needs are taken care of. So do not include your parents in your policy. Instead, take something outside separately. Okay. Does iThought play any association with insurance companies and provide any group policies? Okay, so yeah, we have association with some insurance companies in the market, and group policies as in like is it like employer-employee insurance is what you're asking? Because if that is the case, yes, we do that. We advise on employer-employee insurance, and we service that also. But yeah, we have association with insurance companies in the market, and what we do is we understand why we need to tie up with that insurance company, and after taking informed decision, we tie up with that company, and we make sure, whatever our terms and conditions and whatever we prefer our client should have, that's how we prefer to take the tie up association further. And yeah, we have association, and we provide policies, but I don't understand what you mean by group policies. So would you be able to provide some clarity on that? This question is from Mr. Rajeshwaran. So, Mr. Rajeshwaran, I think we have provided our number also. If you're okay, you can post the question here. If not, you can also reach out to us, and we'll be able to help you with the question. Next is from Mr. Shibi. What is the difference? 5 lakh base plus 20 lakh top up, 15 lakh base plus 10 lakh top up. How to use super top up properly, base versus super top up difference. Okay, sir, this is a question I would love to answer. So having a base policy for 5 lakhs, that is something you can start off with when you're young. But then when you have a family of say 3 or 4, which is you, your spouse, and then 2 children or 3 children or even one child, then you should not go for 5 lakh top up. I'm sorry, base policy. You should go for at least 10 or 15 lakh, depending on your age, depending on the size of the family, depending on the location you are in. Say you're from tier 2 city, then that's okay. But if you're from an urban background, say Delhi, Mumbai, Kolkata, Bangalore, or Chennai, even Hyderabad, then even 10 or 15 will not be okay with. But that is something you can consider, having for a good value. So the main importance in having a base policy for a better value is that your base policy offers comprehensive coverage, right? So like basic hospitalization, and then ambulance benefit, restoration benefit, no claim bonus, and ambulance benefit I've told you. And then you'll have health checkup every year. You can have organ donor benefit. You can have your room rent benefit will be up to the fuller extent. So all these are basic things which you can expect in your base policy. So having it for 15 lakhs will make more sense, because once you go to top up, whatever points I told you, like I just listed out few points, right, which you can have in the policy, there might be compromise in that. So when you take a 5 lakh base policy and 20 lakh top up, first 5 lakh, you can expect a good treatment or good benefits. And from 6th lakh, there'll be a compromise. And you will have to shell out some from your savings, or even say 30% or 40% from your savings after the 60% is being paid by the insurance company. So instead of going for that, depending on, as I told you, depending on your family size, depending on the location you are staying, right, go for a 10 or 15 lakh base policy, and then if required, go for a top up policy. So top up policy is not something that's a base policy, that is something additional, and additional need not necessarily cover everything that your base policy covers. So that's the difference you need to understand. So having a good amount of base policy for 10, 15 lakhs or 20 lakhs is basically that you're putting a strong foundation to your health insurance. And then if required, then you can understand, should I increase my 20 lakh to 25 lakh or 30 lakh or even 50 lakh, or should I take a top up? You can probably compare the features, compare the premium difference and all that. There you can have the premium comparison, but not, with 5 lakh and 20 lakh top up. You can compare the premium difference with 15 lakh and 10 lakh super top up. So I think I answered your, the question. There is one more main thing that I want to tell is that, I'll tell you an example. Say, let's say I'm going for a hospitalization because of some issue, say kidney problem, something, right? And say in the first case, I have 5 lakh base policy and 20 lakh super top up. What will happen is that for the first 5 lakh, I can claim fully, right? But from the 6th lakh, say my claim value is 10 lakh or 15 lakh. Let's understand my claim value is 10 lakh. Okay. So from 6th lakh to 10 lakh, I will have to pay the 5 lakh from my pocket and only can later claim the reimbursement. Okay, so claim from reimbursement. So the first 5 lakh will be cashless. The second 5 lakh or 7 lakhs or 10 lakhs or even whatever the amount is beyond 5 lakhs, I will have to pay from pocket and later claim reimbursement, right? Instead of doing that, go for a 15 lakh, right? Go for the 15 lakh and then whatever the expense, right? That will be covered by my base policy itself. And whatever extra, right? That can probably, if you have a super top up, then that can cover, or even your base policy can cover. So do not compromise on this feature. Go for a better based policy, because after paying. So my main point that I want to make it very clear is that after having the base policy, I don't want to spend from my pocket. So go for a better base policy, and then later if required, go for additional top up. That's the thing. So do we have any further questions? Yeah. Uh, uh, yeah. Thanks for your feedback. That helps a lot. So there are some policies which give premium back for term insurance. Is that good? So that's not advisable, sir. What we'll do is we have made some videos, with respect to these questions. Anyway, I'm happy to answer here, but I would also, post that link here. After my explanation, probably you can also go look into that video for better clarity. So the problem is, say for example, you want to take a term insurance value of 1 crore and the premium will be close to, or let's say 2 crore, your premium will be somewhere close to 15 to 20,000 per annum, right? And you want to take the return of premium option also, where the company gives premium back to you after the policy tenure. So there the premium will be close to it. It will be almost double times, or it will be basically close to 30,000 or 35,000, right? So that's the premium difference you'll be paying. So for 1 year, right, the premium difference between these two policies will be, which is like plain policy where I don't get anything back, and the policy where I get something back, after my policy tenure. So the problem is the premium difference is 15 to 20,000 per year, right? Understand you're going to pay for 30 or 35 years or 25 years probably. Then, calculate the premium difference, like multiply for the number of years. Now, one more problem is that I will get the value later, that is after 30 years only. So today I'm paying 35,000, and only after 30 years, I'll get that premium. So, now what we are compromising here is most of us will be happy that, okay, if I survive, then I'll get my premium back. At least I'm getting that. I'm not losing anything is what you're under, most of our understanding will be, right? But what we are losing out, or what the major problem is that we are losing out on the inflation. We're losing out on the interest that we can get out of it. Instead, this 15 or 20,000, every year you keep investing, right? So whatever that 1 crore or 2 crore, that the family is supposed to get, right, that you can, get out of this difference if you invest itself. That's the point I'm trying to make. And you will have the control of the finance, because expecting some money after 30 years, or at least having the control today, that's the difference I'm trying to make. Invest this money as the emergency reserve that you want to make, or invest this money for your retirement, or invest this money for your child's benefit, for education, right? That will act like anything beyond your imagination than, expecting something out of your term insurance. So I would ask you to keep it very simple, keep it very clean. Take a term insurance without any benefits, where it will cover only if the death happens, the family is fully covered, and keep investing the difference amount every year, and you will get a good corpus which you can use it to, you can plan for a better future or better purpose. That's the point I'm trying to make. Is super top-up always reimbursement based or is it also cashless? So super top-ups are cashless, sir, but where it's reimbursement is that for the same hospitalization, when I use it, right, where my cover is about to, base cover is about to exhaust or get over, and I'm in a position to, so say for example, I stay in, I'll put it very simple, say in example, I stay in a hospital for 10 days, that's the requirement by the doctors, and within 5 days, my base policy gets over. For the other 5 days, I need to get treatment, right? There, I think that I can get, from the super top up. But then the condition is that for the same hospitalization itself, for the rest of 5 days, I can't claim cashless. I can get only reimbursement, right? So I will have to pay and say someone, if I have savings, I can break the savings and I can pay to the hospital. But if I don't have savings or if I don't have adequate savings, then what I have to do is I have to get a loan or pay through my credit card or pay by getting some debt from my friends or somebody. So instead of doing that, I can get take a base policy for good value. That's the thing. So how super top up works is that if I'm going for a new hospitalization and if I'm using super top up there, then that will be very useful. But for continuous hospitalization, if I use super top up, then I'll have to pay reimbursement only, get reimbursement only. That's the problem. So yeah, definitely we'll share this recording, in the YouTube. So it will come in, it will definitely come. So probably you can expect it in a day or two. This recording will be there, and I think you can go through it. And we've also shared our YouTube link. You can see, so every Tuesday and Thursday, we will be posting videos on insurance queries. Whatever questions you've asked, we'll try to answer there also. We'll be making some interactive videos, very interesting way, creative way, where it will be easy for you to understand also. So whatever it is, you can also comment your questions there. You can follow our page for any insurance updates that we give there. So that's also one thing. And we've also given our number here. Uh, I think Archana has shared. Anyway, I'll also share our number here, where you can contact us or text us directly, and you can get your queries resolved. And in addition to that, if you have any insurance policies to review or any new policies to take where you want our advice, where you want our service, you can definitely reach out to us on this number. So I'm putting it again in the group, in the chat, so you can probably uh, uh, take a look and make use of it. And I think we were able to provide some justice to whatever we had committed, and I think it was very useful to all of you. And in case of any feedbacks, please provide to us, and we'll be definitely happy to take the feedback wherever it is required to improve. We'll definitely do that. We'll try and better whatever topics that you want us to discuss or you want us to present. We'll be definitely doing that as well in the coming webinars. So every month, third week or fourth week, we'll be doing this insurance webinar. So yeah, we would require your participation, and that will help us really coming with interesting topics to cover, and it will be really helpful for us to improve it in the first place, and then sharing it with you as well. So we provided a contact just in the chat, sir, so you can take that. So any more questions? Because yeah, probably one or questions. If you have, we can take that up. If not, we can end the webinar and we can close it for the day. And ask the question, please provide your feedback probably in the chat or anywhere that's possible. That will be really helpful for us to improve, for us to do more webinars.